How did I find Satoshi Nakamoto? Part 1. I have suspicious to Satoshi Nakamoto when I have seen this post on bitcointalk.org. This user was asking about the latest Satoshi Nakamoto build, which is 3.19. And if you check the bitcoin.com, you actually only able to see the Bitcoin 3.21, and the version 3.20 is missing. And so I thought there must be some catch on Bitcoin 3.21, and that's why I was trying to find a Bitcoin 3.2.1. But that version you can't really find it anywhere. It just does not exist. You can't even find it on the SourceForge. There is no way that you can find it. The only way that you can download it is actually check the hash, find the hash, and go search on VirusTotal, and maybe you'll be able to download. And that's what I did. So I've downloaded, and I have this Bitcoin 3.2.zip, and I was checking this file, and I have noticed something. So in order to find out who is developed and compiled the Bitcoin, I was trying to find out some information about the Bitcoin creator computer. In order to that, I used an application called PID. Basically, it tells you the app has been developed by what language and what program and what was the linker. And I was trying to compare the three versions of the Bitcoins that I have. The first and third release of Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin that has been released by Gavin Anderson, which was missing, Bitcoin 3.2.0. And as you can see on the screen, there's linker info, it says 2.0. So the compiler and linker is basically, there are two different things, and you can put your codes on the system, you can upload it, and then you can compile it, and then an assembler comes to the picture, but when you export it, you can use it a different linker. And this linker that's Satoshi's computer were using, it was 2.56. Basically it's a GCC compiler, and then version 2.2, it's a .NET Core compiler. The Bitcoin creation time was in 2008. Basically, they have compiled this file 5 months before the release date. And one of the important thing that it was very suspicious to me, that this Bitcoin has multiple founders and not one coder. And it was because when you check this files on VirusTotal, you see there is a different library called libe32, and it has name Satoshi, and this is a different one with ones that you can find on the Gavin Anderson's computer. Basically, Gavin Anderson wanted to probably evaluate these two DLLs. So one has been developed with his computer, which has its own linker, it's linker 2.2 on it, and the other one is the ones that actually developed on Satoshi's computer, which has the linker 2.6. There is this file developed on January 10th of 2009. This is the very first version of the Bitcoin, and this is the one that it's developed by Gavin Anderson. And you see the linker, it's 2.2, right? So this one developed by Windows. And the library that I was talking about also been developed by Gavin Anderson in linker version, same linker version, and the date is 2011. So the interesting part is this file. This file, it says compiled on 2009 and has a linker version 6, but this is on the Gavin Anderson computer. But you guys, do you remember on the first Bitcoin conference what Gavin Anderson said about when he was aware of Bitcoin project?
And I first heard about Bitcoin from this article, which came out in InfoWorld on May 24th, 2010, which was an article about 7 interesting open source projects.
So one of the other projects that this person that I was suspicious that he was working on Bitcoin, his name is Adam Back, and he's basically one of the first person who was involved in the project, and he's pretend that he doesn't know Satoshi. But when I was checked his project, I have noticed that he used the same linker on his previous projects. He used the same linker as the Satoshi. Basically, this files and this project that he's been working on been compiled as the same linker and the same language. They're all been compiled with the Microsoft Visual C++ compile. They have been coded with Microsoft C++ project and then all compiled with this GCC linker. So yes, Adam Back is Satoshi Nakamoto. And yep, you cannot deny this. Now we have a proof that Adam Back is Satoshi Nakamoto.